Little Sisters of the Poor have been caring for the elderly in Denver for more than 100 years, and their buildings are starting to show it.
Denver 7's Gary Brode spoke to the head of operations who's contacting Denver 7 because elevators need to be replaced immediately, and because of COVID, they just can't afford it.
Peace in the twilight of life. It's what Sister Mercy and the Little Sisters of the Poor take pride in giving their residents.
That's what my call is: take care of the elderly, be with them, journey with them.
Sister Mercy arrived at the Denver location about a year ago, long after a major problem began.
I'm afraid of very much to be elevator.
Elevators in each of the two buildings have a combined age of nearly 100 years old, and their age is starting to show.
One of our residents went up the other day and he was telling me, I pressed the button and it went up to the second floor, but the door didn't open. So I pressed the button to go down, came down to the ground floor. It did open.
Joe Seafried says problems like that have been happening more and more in the last 6 months.
Hit or miss. It's, you might not know when you get in the elevator if you're going to make it to the floor you want to get to.
So far, they've raised $65,000 in donations, but it's not nearly enough.
Preliminary estimate is about $250,000, probably be a little bit more. These are traction elevators. They're much older, and it's going to be much more expensive, probably twice as much.
And while they could dip into the general fund to fix it, there's concern they wouldn't have much left for anything else.
We could use some of the cash we've been saving towards the elevator. We've thought about it for a while. But with COVID, our resident numbers are down. We're not allowed to admit anybody. So as people pass on, we can't fill the rooms. So of course that affects our cash flow.
Without help from the community, Little Sisters of the Poor, and more importantly, its residents, are stuck.
My biggest concern is that we're going to have a resident and a nurse that may be with them stuck in an elevator for quite a while. Okay, so you call the fire department comes out. How do you get a person in a wheelchair out of an elevator? I don't know the answer to that. Hasn't happened, but I don't want to find out.
In Denver, Gary Brode, Denver 7.
And if you'd like to help, we have more information right now on how to donate on thedenverchannel.com.